Yeah, it seems he's returned. I don't know about the other part. Because look, here's the thing.
It's clobbering time.
I had committed to not going too hard against Jim. If you notice that first YouTube short that I put up on the channel.
Okay, what's more racist, calling somebody a nick or doing a lynching?
I'm out.
I started thinking, based on the comments of that had come out about Jim was taking time off to work on stuff like that, that maybe it wasn't necessarily just the thing he said that he was working on. Because if you watched it, you know the dude was hammered.
The Ghostbusters 2016 film.
And I was like thinking, well, that's actually something I really do want to not make fun of. If he's actually taking time off to, like, you know, work on some kind of substance issue.
Big point for where we were like, oh, they're
cool. I'm gonna kind of just leave it alone. I still talked about it, but I wasn't gonna do exploitative content about it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was open to talking about like what happened, because it happened. Like, there's no avoiding that. But also, like, just almost as like a message, because you know, I would hope he would come back and be like, you know, I've thought about things, and you know, maybe I just need to reflect on how I look at stuff. That was my best case scenario of him coming back.
But we're going to look at today exactly why it is that seemingly someone like Jim wouldn't be receptive, and you know, and actually how that happens. Let's look at what Jim had to say, Mr. The Casual.
Jim the Casual.
Jim the Casual Racist. All right, so here's the timeline of events. Bob had asked me to be on a show, and I was like, sure. And then, like, right before the show, he was like, because I knew he had a debate, and I was going to be leaving his show after we talked for a few minutes, and then he was going to do a debate. But then right before, he was like, hey, I didn't realize that he's bringing his friend. You want to do this with me? And I was like, sure. And so that's how we ended up in that debate with Jim and Corian. And if you watch that, then you know how it went.
What's more racist, calling somebody a
That's racist.
or doing a lynching?
That's racist.
Jim, no. I don't know. You honestly seem shit-faced, Jim, and I don't know that you probably are gonna be happy that you did this whenever you wake up tomorrow and you're sober.
No,
I legit feel like I'm beating up a super drunk guy right now, and I feel bad for you. Like, I don't want to fucking partake in this anymore, because now you're saying slurs just to kind of, you know, be edgy, and you're making more dumb questions about which thing is worse, and it's like, it's embarrassing for you, dude. But you should do this another day. We should do it another day.
No, which one is worse?
I'm not going near that one.
Which action is worse?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that me calling somebody a name is worse than killing him? Because
nobody's saying that. You're making up arbitrary fucking bullshit.
Yeah, this is a weird argument. Where's this even come from?
It's absurd. So yeah, this was like the day after. And Jim deeply apologized for what happened yesterday. It was way the hell out of line, and it is inexcusable. You know, then whenever he said this originally, I was like, well, at least, you know, he knows that this was out of line. I think that's not really the best way to describe what he did. Out of line, you know, whatever. Like, out of line, the way he talks about it and the way that these guys tend to see it, I think, is as if we're just offended. Like, oh, our poor virginal ears have heard a dirty word. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, a word I've heard plenty of times in my life.
There's not really any words you can say that's going to hurt my feelings, even if you say it directly about me.
No, it was more just surprise they said it. Yeah, it's not like he hurt my feelings or anything.
Bob sent me this, and this was kind of a like, whoa. So this was Jim's, I guess, streaming partner. They had a channel called
it was Blake and the Casual.
Yeah. And so Blake, as in Blake of Blake and the Casual, announced to their Discord that Jim was going to be taking a break from streaming the Discord for some time. Channel name will likely change for a while he's gone working on stuff. Thanks for understanding, blah, blah, blah. And that's the phrase there that I gave benefit of the doubt to, was working on stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, And the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe it means that he's actually recognizes, because if you, I don't know, I'm not going to speak to how bad of a problem really he might have, but I think it kind of shows there's an issue if you're just comfortable going onto a stream as shit-faced as he seemed like he was.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is that's what happened there. And like I said, I gave it benefit of the doubt. I even took down that YouTube short after a couple of days because I was like, you know what, that feels exploitative. So what was this comment under that I'm about to show, Bob?
Well, it was under the Mahler video that was recently covered on EFAP. I know you're shocked. You're shocked.
I may have said a lot of stupid shit during the debate, but I was popped. What's your excuse? And I'm not sure what popped means. You said that it means that.
Yeah.
What did you think it means?
I just said that's a weird way to phrase saying the N-word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was wondering, is he admitting that he was drunk? Because he wouldn't say no or yes. He basically didn't even like respond to me when I called it out. You're just moving the goalposts all over the place, and you're not even sober enough to keep up with where they go.
Bullshit.
Well, why are you going to challenge me to a debate then not know? Like, they obviously wanted to talk to me about stuff, but then they didn't have any like research behind it, and then you're drunk.
Well, and I think we can answer that today, honestly. Why are these people so confident, right? Like, there's I quoted it on Twitter the other day. There's a lyric of a song that I really like, and it goes, "Is it coincidence that the craziest fools have the strongest belief that they're right?" Yeah, I mean, it's expressing the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people are more arrogant and confident in things that, some people, then they don't even realize how uninformed they are in it.
Kind of live a bit of a very walled off kind of existence when it comes to these type of things.
He just admitted that he's got a very limited frame of reference for life,
But from what I've gathered from, different pieces of media, YouTube responses, things like that.
So what he's gathered from YouTube, which does apply to what we're about to talk about. I promise we're getting there, Bob.
Yeah. How do I put this?
How do I put this? And then this is what he came up with.
Oh, yeah.
Popular term for woke is raising perceived groups that are at a disadvantage to a higher level and promoting them more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, perceived groups. These groups exist.
Yeah.
Like saying perceived implies that they're just
perceived's weird. Yeah,
promoting them more. Then you got to ask, what do you mean by more? More than what? More than they have been? Yeah, definitely. More than anybody else. We're not even close to that being a problem or issue to deal with. Even if we're raising up the platforms and the voices of other people besides traditionally cis white hetero men, that doesn't mean cis white hetero men are at a disadvantage or at risk of losing anything. And believe me, I'm one of them. So like, I know.
I.e., blacks, Asians, the other races.
Blacks,
that is
Asians.
The way he's phrasing it,
He could have just said that, and that would essentially tell me the same thing as when he said, I live a pretty walled off life.
The gays, all that, and putting them on a plateau and making them the highlight of the conversation.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Where did this all go wrong? All right, so moving on. Why is Jim so confident in all this? And this is going to seem kind of unrelated at first. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a good question, and we're about to address that, I believe. Avatar 2 coverage, because we were like trying to figure out, do Chuds think it's woke? Do they think it's not woke? And I'm like looking through YouTube at their different titles and thumbnails, and I'm like, it's unclear what the consensus is.
Yeah.
Because I saw Jeremy Griggs liked it. Apparently the Quartering liked it, but then you look at most of the content, like from them and from others, and it's so clear. And so today I started looking at it a little bit closer. Why has it been so hard to get a read on the anti-fan consensus for Avatar 2? As we discussed on the show last night, they're hedging their bets to see where the audience lands. You can't say it's woke trash if your fans love it, and you can't say it went broke if it makes $2 billion. So you've got some of their thumbnails here, woke meltdown,
it's gonna make $1 billion within 3 weeks, easy. Probably even sooner than that.
Woke reviewers love Avatar too. Here's Jeremy Griggs actually enjoyed Avatar: The Way of Water. And I challenged you guys and I challenged the other hosts last night to see if you could spot the one thing they all had in common that we looked at last night as far as thumbnails and titles and stuff. And with Jeremy Griggs being the only exception, now these are all different takes, believe it or not. Most of them are about this activist, Native American activist, indigenous activist with 2,000 followers on Twitter who said that Avatar 2 uses cultural appropriation. And I'm not going to, regardless of whether or not that's true, it's not even my place to say if it does or not, honestly. But like, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the point. This person, one person has 2,000 followers and they said that. And then that got blown up by all of these videos, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a video defending Avatar from the quartering, despite this hideous fucking monstrosity. Woke reviewers love it. Avatar not woke enough. Woke critic meltdown, woke melt. It's basically the same video by two different. And you obviously see what the commonality is, right? It's woke. The word woke is in all of these, whether or not they enjoyed it or not. They make sure to keep that word in there. And why is that? A lot of you probably are aware, but I think it's worth getting into a little bit of specifics and understanding this a little bit better, because of how the YouTube algorithm works. And this goes to speak to what Jim was saying in that clip, where he learned what he knows about wokeness from YouTube.
Kind of live a bit of a very walled off kind of existence when it comes to blacks, Asians, the other races.
And I imagine that's where a lot of people did. But what's the problem with that? YouTube is not like, it's not a meritocracy. It's not like the best information is what gets seen the most. It's not the most popular information and content is always the most enlightened or informed content. Like me and Bob were talking beforehand about, we'll often get comments of somebody like, if you make a video about critical drinker or something, they'll go, oh, well, he's got 1 million subscribers and you don't. So that should tell you. But like, no, it does. It tells me that the algorithm is fucking weird. that it's based on, well thought out, nuanced, considered content. I pulled up this article from Shopify of all places, but it does break it down pretty well.
What's interesting is that this isn't like a expose or anything. This is just them talking about breakdown on how the algorithm works.
Yeah, this is just like easily found information. This is not like some, oh my God, is that how YouTube functions? I had no idea. It's like, no, it's been known for a while. This is generally how social media works. And like I said last night, and I said before, I have to literally, unironically thank the people who have downvoted my content and talked shit in my comments, partly for my growth, because that plays a positive role. And that's what they don't understand, I think, is like, you're not telling me that I should quit. Or like, it's like they think that if they do enough downvotes, I'm going to go, oh, that's it.
Oh, they got me.
Blow my brains out or something. Like,
shit, they ratioed me. What a twist.
Well, Matthew, I mean, I agree in sentiment, but it is fixed. It's working the way it's supposed to in favor of YouTube and ads. That's the thing. That's why it won't get fixed, because it's not really broken to them. It's doing exactly what they want. It's only broken when it comes to the effect it has on, culture and society. So there's a research paper published in 2016. Go ahead and open that. That's a legit research paper. We can look up that if you want to. Since 2015, YouTube's goals have purely been to help viewers find the kinds of content they want to watch to increase long-term satisfaction. Of course, we're all subject to this. Disclaimer, we all live in this world to some degree, are watching obviously what we want to watch. That's, obvious. But like, when the stuff that you want to watch doesn't actually kind of evoke any real critical thought, and it doesn't inform you very much, it just kind of repeats a message over and over again. The message. And it's just
No.
telling you this is woke, everything's woke, woke is bad, look out for woke, wokey woke, 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 woke. Then you end up like fucking Jim the fucking casual or his buddy who admitted on stream eventually that like he doesn't watch any of the movies that we're talking about. He just watches YouTubers say it. And Jim admitted it too. He got all his, and you end up so confident. Your fucking head is full of this bullshit that like you think it's fucking legit. And you challenge people to a debate and then you go on drunk and perform that way about it. And then we looked at his other comments. It wasn't a special occasion for Jim to be that stupid. You know, he that's a common thing for him. And it creates this Dunning-Kruger effect where I've been in 5 debates now. And I'll just say I've won them all. I don't want to be like, I've crushed them all, but I've won them all. I think anybody with a, you know, reasonable set of standards would watch those and see that I perform better than the other guy. And that's because of this. That's why I'm surprised that I'm fucking good at it, because I'm really not. I'm just like, I'm not good at debating, guys. I'm really not. It just, if you are committed to facts and understanding things on a critical level, people's shit falls apart.
Well, then we should define the term right now. That way there's no more confusion going on.
Absolutely, we should.
What does woke mean to you?
But you notice that moment when I said, I don't think it means anything. I don't believe woke means anything. What does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to you guys?
Well,
and they're both like, you know what I mean? It like broke their brains for a second. And it's because of this, because they have for years now been consuming this shit uncritically, unquestioningly. And then they see other people say it. And these other people are, you know, and it feels good to be part of a community where you see other people saying the same thing you are. And they're liking yours and retweeting yours because you said it. And you never really challenge it. It becomes like, this is just a socially accepted thing. Ironically, this is the socially accepted thing on YouTube, especially to think that woke is some fucking, you know, imminent threat and it's affecting and poisoning everything, despite the fact that it's all very, very subjective and nobody can fucking really give a coherent definition that doesn't immediately contradict something else that they wouldn't call woke or didn't call woke. And I know me and Bob are perfectly willing to, you know, argue those points to anybody in the future. You can email me at actualfandom@gmail.com. I've also got a form you can submit on my homepage and in the description. And Bob, what's yours?
rsetlock3@gmail.com.
So the goal, the YouTube does not want the same thing for you that you want from YouTube. Not really. You know, especially if you're like somebody who wants to learn things and you want to keep yourself updated and refreshed on information. Because if you're watching, you know, like the fucking EFAT for 6 hours a day, for whatever, you're not getting anything new. You're just getting, your biases are being confirmed because this thing is being shit on by these guys who sound like they're really intellectual and they have these really nuanced, enlightened takes on things. And they're really fucking kind of idiots who have also been corralled by the fucking algorithm, and they're just post hoc rationalizing why they think something is bad.
Well, here's what I'll tell you my issue is with something like EFAP or even the Mahler format. It's like you're essentially going to sit down and watch this super long video to tell you X thing is bad. You could take less time, watch X thing, and draw your own opinions.
But,
I mean,
you know,
I'd rather just draw my own opinions.
Right, but people don't want to because that doesn't feel as good and as reassuring as having someone with, look how many numbers they have on their YouTube channel, such high number subscribers.
Yeah.
To have them confirm your bias feels fucking good. You don't need to build up your own understanding of things. You don't need to build up your own framework for, you know, analyzing stuff. You had this person just reach down and bless your little heart because they said something that made you feel warm and fuzzy inside. To act like having these views is an organic or the natural response, it's been something that's been pushed through particularly YouTube. It began as like the anti-SJW movement, and it kind of fucking devolved, morphed into Gamergate, Trumpism, and all that stuff. And it's like, you would think that by now somebody would be able to give a pretty coherent definition.
I.e., you know, blacks, Asians, the other races, the gays, all that, and putting them on a plateau and making them the highlight of the conversation.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well,